Hello again, welcome back to the channel. This video is a bit unusual. This video is about something that I did in 2006, and it's part of my background. It's not photography as such, it's something else. I might have mentioned in previous videos that I've been heavily involved in IT for most of my life, and that's very true, I have. I've also been a professional photographer for a period of years back in the early noughties, as they're now called. And when I did that job, I was frustrated by getting dust on the sensor on the camera and having to clean it off afterwards in post-production. To that end, I decided that I'd actually write some software to actually take that problem away and automatically remove dust spots from images. Yes, I know nowadays Lightroom and all the modern tools and Photoshop have got quite sophisticated dust removal sort of abilities, but very few of them are automated. And I want to just briefly show you this piece of software working, because I dug it out of the dusty annals of IT in my archive a few weeks ago, having forgotten about it for quite some time, and I thought I'll just see if it still works. Not that it wouldn't still work, but I just thought, I wonder how it compares nowadays to what it did back in the day when I wrote it. And I wrote it in 2006, and bear in mind that's 14 plus years ago. And there was nothing on the market that did this. And I sold a lot of copies of this piece of software, and it came in particularly useful for professionals who'd go out, particularly sports shooters. They'd take thousands of shots in a day, and you can't post-process all of those to remove the dust manually. So this particular piece of software that I've written actually identifies the dust spots itself, and then it will apply those same identifications across multiple images. Because if you go out and take 1,000 shots in an afternoon, the chances are the dust on the sensor isn't going to move, it's going to be in the same places. So you're going to have a lot of pictures with essentially the same dust spots all over them, and the software recognises them, and it can actually batch process a whole bunch of files and remove the dust spots. Anyway, without more ado, what I'm going to do is switch you over to the screen capture mode, and I'll show you the software running on a couple of files. And well, it's something a bit different. I don't think anyone has seen anything like this particularly, certainly not something written by a photographer explicitly. So let's get on with it and have a look at this piece of code. Okay, here we are. This is Image Duster. There's its name. It's called Image Duster Pro. I couldn't think of a better name to call it, so it ended up called Image Duster. Anyway, it's a piece of software written in Microsoft's C#, which is a language that if anyone's interested in software development, they probably know and realise it's still a current language. The user interface itself, this whole piece here, the software, how it appears to the person using it, is by modern standards a bit crass and a bit old-fashioned, but to be fair, at the time it wasn't too shabby. And I've got it running here, and basically there's an area on the left here where the whole image that you're processing appears, so that you can see it as a complete image, and then there is a 100% one-to-one pixel area here where the actual image appears much more magnified, so you can see the details of the dust and other such things. I'll run through the other little parts of the screen. This area here keeps track of where the cursor is, so as you can see as I'm moving the cursor on the image, although there isn't an image there, the values in those boxes are changing. And then in this section in the bottom left there are a series of sliders which allow me to alter how sensitive the recognition process is. And then there's another set of controls here which basically tell it which areas to ignore on the picture. You don't necessarily have to analyse the whole picture, you can analyse the top half or top third or so on, and you can leave out different colour ranges as well if they're proving problematic. The next window here has got an area where the dust spots that it identifies are listed, and you can click on them and then it'll show you in the picture up here. So it's probably best if I put a picture up here so you can see. This is a picture I took in Tuscany many years ago, back in 2004 as it says here. And if I click on that picture, it appears both whole here and also zoomed in here, and I can use these scrolling bars and move across and look at the image. And as you can see, here is your classic really bad set of dust spots on the picture up here on the top right of the image. And if you look in the zoomed in image, yeah, they're pretty horrible bits of dust, and if you had to take those off a lot of images you'd get a bit bored after a short while. So I'll leave the basic settings as they are defaulted. I'll just turn that down a little bit. If I tell it to analyse the image, it zips across at the bottom here and then fills up this list area here with the dust spots that it's found. Now I'm particularly interested in these very visible ones here, so if I click on that it takes me straight to the zoomed in part of the image where those spots on the whole image appear, and as you can see the little green fences show items that it's decided are actually dust spots, and therefore it's going to actually fix them for us. So I'm reasonably happy with it fixing those images. It found them itself, I haven't done anything more. It's found quite a few others. As you can see there's incredibly tiny details that it's chosen to pick out as well. It won't matter if they get cleared. So it's going to now go through the process of cleaning the image, and I hit the clean button here and it does that, and lo and behold all the little green outlines disappear, and if I go back to the part of the image that had those really nasty dust spots on, they're all gone, all nicely gone, none there, and that's a pretty clean sky even by anyone's standard. And this was an old Nikon, I think it was a D1X, sorry, yeah, I think it was a D1. Anyway, that is the software. You can load in multiple files and it will automatically orientate them so that the dust, in this case those nasty 3 spots, would be taken off all of the files that you drop in this window here. I'm not going to do that, I'm not boring you with that much extra detail. Just safe to say that you can then subsequently save the file, and if I save that on my desktop as fixed, lo and behold on my desktop, which is out of view because I haven't got the desktop being shown at the moment, I will I've just loaded those 2 images, and I'm just going to pull them into something called a comparison tool. It's a visual comparison tool, and I need to make the window that it's recording much bigger, so I'll stop recording this. Okay, I've now run up a program called Beyond Compare, which is a comparison tool, and in the left hand window we have the source image. The center window shows the differences between them in a rather bizarre way, and I haven't quite interpreted quite how yet, but the right hand screen is the fixed image. Now if I subsequently scroll across to where those nasty dust spots are, as you can see the images are synchronized, all 3 of them. As I scroll, I can scroll any of them, they're all connected. So you can see the image on the left has got the dust spots, the one in the center is showing the differences, and the one on the right is the cleaned image. Even zoomed in massively, you can only just detect what it's done, and I would defy most people to be able to notice that. And if I'd written the software now, I'd have probably spent more time making it a bit more accurate in how it blended the images. But anyway, I thought you guys might be just interested to see something else, something unusual in these COVID-ridden times that we're in. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you found that interesting. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up, and please also subscribe so that you get notified when I upload new videos.